All right, Sunday night. Getting rolling, man. 10 minutes until we go live with ShopTalk tonight. Great show tonight, and we have the very distinct pleasure of having our very first shotgun guest in the mobile studio. Big Randy Knowles riding shotgun tonight. Street level here in the mobile studio at Cycle Source Command. What's up, Philippines? Shane Rodriguez, Gardenia in the house. Good to see you guys, everybody from Chopper Town, our Cycle Source family. Make sure you throw up a little howdy and where you're from so we can give you a shout out. Going live in just 8.5 minutes with Shop Talk. Stick around. Ironhead from Detroit, Michigan. Good to see you. Ashley Woodford in the house. What's up, Ash? Man, hope to see you guys real soon. Massachusetts, Mike Bauman in the house. Good to see all you guys here tonight. Going live real quick. Stick around. Arthur Roy in the house. Russ Journey. Kearney, Nebraska. Good to see you, man. Barry L. Good to see you. Lance Baxter. Lots of great news tonight. No Leesburg this year. I know. Damn, man. So many things are being canceled, but we got some good news in tonight. Hello from Toledo, Ohio. Like I said, lots of good news. Everybody coming back from the Indian Larry Block Party. That's going to be one of our headlines to talk about tonight. If you guys know what I'm talking about, then you know. If you don't, stick around because, man, you're going to want to send kudos to our boy Bobby Seeger up there. He's a badass. All right, going live here in just 4 minutes, man. Stick around. All right, with just about a minute left. I can't even believe we're so close to on time. Heather's going to be so proud of us tonight. Charles Barber in the house. Good to see you, man. Jonathan, giggity. Hashtag giggity. Right on. So, minute left. We're going to go live. Get ready to pull this one up out of the station. Get it on the tracks. We're going with Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It's 9 p.m. on the East Coast. That means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk. So glad to be here tonight. I'm your host, Chris Callen from Cycle Source Magazine. I'm joined by my willing and able crew. What's up, everybody? How we doing tonight?
Well, good evening.
It's Monday.
What was that voice?
Howdy, howdy.
Wait a minute.
I'm a ventriloquist.
There was a mystery voice.
The mystery voice.
That's because
Hey, we should do a guess who this is.
guess. How many guesses do you get? What's my line?
One.
No, but listen, for the first time, riding shotgun
Bam.
in the mobile studio, Mr. Randy Knowles. What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Poor
Great to
son,
be here.
poor son of a bitch. Right? He listen, only like 45 minutes ago, he sends a text message and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing tonight? I'm in your area."
Yeah.
This is what happens.
Yeah. I'm just rolling through, jamming the stereo, drinking a little recovery Gatorade from last night's activities, and said, "Yeah, I'll see if the Cycle Source folks want to have dinner or something." Next thing you know, I'm handcuffed in a damn van, the front seat.
Doors locked.
Doors are locked.
At least it's the front seat.
Yeah, at least it's the front seat.
At least it's the front
They
seat.
give me a light, so yeah. These
Hey,
these handcups are a little tight. You're
you
gonna have
got
to
a
do something
pepperoni
about
roll.
those. I
Right.
showed a pepperoni roll in my. That was really damn good, actually.
So-
dinner was nice. Thank you.
Randy, you should know
Yeah.
by now, anytime that you're anywhere near Cycle Source, we are going to put you to work in some way, shape, or form.
That's fine. That's fine because I really don't have any other job. So.
And this is a hell of an excuse for that. But you were at the block party, so
Yeah.
you're going to officially serve as our man on the street.
Okay.
How was the block party?
It was great. It was a great time. Weather was perfect. Great turnout. Talked a little bit to Bobby, but on an event like that, you can't really get 2 seconds alone with
Dude, I'd like
with
to
the
put
guy.
a pedometer on him during those.
Oh, no
yeah.
shit, right?
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, at one point he was about 5 o'clock. He had sat down in a chair and just passed out, just right in the middle of his own event. And something like that takes weeks and weeks of planning and putting together. And who knows how long he's been up. And but it was a great party. The air was filled with acrid smoke, and the artwork was displayed, and it was a wonderful time. Yeah.
Speaking of artwork,
Yes.
and I understand that no one at the block party actually had anything to do with this, so we're not going. But
They were as surprised as anybody else, from what I hear.
this is in from Channel 12 News, but it's been all over social media today.
Yeah.
So there's a word blanked out, Como and de Blasio. Now this is a shot from an aerial photograph. It's as big as the damn street.
Okay, if you're not from New York, Como and de Blasio are the mayor and governor of New York. So just to put this in
Yes.
perspective.
So
And they are the ones keeping small business at bay, from what I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yesterday's block party event was called a small business shutdown protest.
yeah.
and there were no masks required in that area of New York, and it was quite liberating, I must say. Yeah.
Well, let's
Because it was a protest. That's right. No
Yeah.
masks are
Right.
required during a protest.
Well, I you know, the legality of that I don't know, but there wasn't a lot of mask wearing there, and everywhere else in New York there was it's a full coverage.
So let's take 2 seconds here and roll the footage from News 12 because they
Viewers
actually
tipping
have
us
a
off
video
about
here.
this painting seen on Saturday along North 15th Street between Gem Street and West Avenue. This is in the Greenport section of Brooklyn. It says, well, you could kind of read it there. We blurred it out, but it says the letter, F and curse word, Cuomo and de Blasio. All right. Well, witnesses say the words have since been removed, and then they shared this video with us of people cleaning up that painting. We reached out to the office of the mayor, the governor, and the Department of Transportation for more information.
And dead air.
And cut.
Nobody was willing to talk.
Yeah.
So
Hey, they got their street repainted last
They
night, I
did.
see.
Apparently, not only that, and their point across. So
To every airline flying overhead into LaGuardia.
can you imagine?
that's
Oh,
fantastic.
Yeah. Every airline coming over, or JFK, every airline, all over the city. Every airline.
Well, you know
coming
what
in
I
and going
think is
out.
great is if you watched them painting it, they're just painting jet black right over the yellow letters. So
Yeah.
you're still going to be able to
Right.
see it.
Sure.
It's great.
But you know what, man? I mean, here's what you got to say. All joking aside, people were just tired.
Yeah.
I mean, Randy, you can sympathize with this because you, like us, you're in the entertainment business. I mean, our lives have been put on hold, man.
Absolutely.
and for an entire year now, like we're going towards the end of the year with no work. People are frustrated. They're tired.
I went to Daytona Bike Week on March 7th, and they said, don't hurry home because we don't know how long we're going to be out of work. And I'm still waiting to get the call back, and it's getting frustrating seeing.
Oh, I can.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It's frustrating.
See, and then,
Yeah, I will say some of the ingenuity that we've seen has been interesting. Chris and I were out on a ride yesterday, and we drove by a drive-in movie theater
Yeah.
that actually was hosting a drive-in concert.
Oh yeah, that's big. That's big right now.
Yeah. Well, and all of us have been sitting on our asses. Unlike Mark, who is an essential worker, he's on the front lines.
I don't know if you can consider that essential, but I haven't had a break for a minute. So, unlike like hearing Randy's story and knowing what is going on through the magazine and stuff, I feel bad. I'm super lucky. Both me and Dana have not stopped for 1 minute. So, I mean, it's a blessing. But on the other hand, to feel bad, you try and give back to whatever you can give back to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, and our hearts and prayers obviously go out to everybody who's sidelined by this whole thing because it's a hard time. It's no matter what side of the politics you fall on or conspiracy theories or what have you. It's a hard time for everybody, and we're all doing the best to shoulder our way through this. So just remember, your neighbor is not necessarily your enemy, even if he's out in the yard acting like an asshole. Try to be patient with each other and just take it easy, man. Like this too shall pass.
yeah, and then like you have to think, like we always say, and we don't bring political up to this, but man, it doesn't matter what your opinions and your views are. You still got to be nice to each other. I mean, everybody has an opinion. How about now?
How about now? There we go. Okay.
We're back?
Short, quick technical difficulty, but we're back. So where were we at? So if you didn't catch the news last week, we did cover Biketoberfest. There is going to be a Biketoberfest. It's sort of a pissing match between the city of Daytona and the city of Ormond Beach, because Daytona has decided to not give out any permits, issue any permits, any outdoor activity, anything, and Ormond is an all skate. So it's going to be really weird, man. I mean, for a long time, Main Street has been losing traction to what's going on up in the center section, by the Horse and the Spoke and Rossmeyer's. So this is just going to light that fire a little bit more. And I mean, typically, I think we can all agree, Biketoberfest is kind of the backseat to, bike week in the spring, but still, it's definitely a line in the sand, and it's going to turn into a giant pissing match, and it sucks,
Yeah,
It does suck.
It's sad that they put the pressure on the people, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're almost making people feel bad going there. And, don't feel bad. If you want to go.
Right.
Support the people that are still doing it.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Because those establishments in Ormond Beach, if they're fortunate enough to open, they are employing people that need the work.
Right.
At the end of what I don't understand is the fact that like Daytona Beach, they're still doing concerts in their band shell, and they're still doing some community events. I don't understand the double standard.
It's this bullshit that they call.
That's what doesn't make sense to me.
It's the bullshit that they call optics. You know what I mean? Like how it looks to their constituents, and how it's going to look to the media part of the world. And that's such a crock of shit, man. Like what a piss poor way to govern things, because it shows ridiculous prejudice against one culture over another one. I don't care how you toss it or turn it. Like, if it's not okay for motorcycle people to be somewhere doing an event, it shouldn't be okay for anybody. But like you said, their concerts go on, their community activities go on, but because motorcycles have garnered, partially through like the thing that happened with Sturgis, since motorcycles end up in the news, they don't want to bring national attention to themselves, and it's just shit.
And the worst part about it is, like, we were in Sturgis.
The
stories they're posting about Sturgis are complete crap. It's not true. And that's the sad part. The media is making it out to be worse than it is, and it's reflecting back on people's incomes, and that's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
So, sort of sucks it's happening like that.
So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of those businesses rely on these biannual events to get through the year, to pay their mortgages.
Hey, and don't forget the people who make their living on the rally circuit.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's no easy way to make a life. Like, a lot of people get the misconception that these girls and barbacks and shit are making thousands of dollars every night of the rally, and like, man, it's just remember, it's weeks and weeks, sometimes months between events.
Yep.
This is what these people do to make a living, and like Randy said, a lot of us haven't had work since March, man.
Yeah. And then he came to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Get thrown in a van.
Riding shotgun.
There it is.
It's a tough crowd.
It's affecting so many people. It really, truly is.
Wow.
And not in a positive way.
Yeah.
I think, people need social interaction, in this day and age of social media. People are forgetting how to socialize. The younger generation has a harder time communicating. Yeah. And they're making it even more difficult. I mean, heck, now, like right now in schools, they're essentially teaching children not to share.
Not to share, yeah, right.
Like, how can that be okay for the future?
And there's the other thing.
I don't understand that.
You have these kids that are going to school for the first time that are so excited about going to school, and now they're going and being segregated in their, set alone, and they can't play with the other kids, and super confusing. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Did anybody else feel like...
Our grandson is in first grade, and he's taking class via
Internet.
Zoom.
Yeah, everybody. What'd you say, Randy?
I was going to say, did anybody else notice the vibe in Sturgis, that everybody was just happy to see another human in the flesh?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
and how
Yes.
it was one of the best vibes I've seen in Sturgis for years and
Yeah.
years. Just everybody was just happy to be amongst other humans and they interact, and that's the isolation and the loneliness I feel back at home in St. Louis when I'm there. We've got a pretty tight thumb on the city of St. Louis, and yeah, to get away and to get to events like Sturgis and other things that are the block party that are still
Pushing
open
on.
enough,
Yeah.
and to see the camaraderie amongst people and just to be able to shake hands and to say hello to a friend again is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Absolutely.
really missed.
Absolutely. You know, for a lot of us,
I agree.
for a lot of us, the thing that he's talking about, you know, this is we've made our friends and our family the people that we want to be around, that are the people out at these events, you know. So it's all of a sudden you're alone.
Yeah, which is difficult for us. We've been doing this a really long time, and pretty much our friend base, you know, not that we don't have friends at home, but our friend base, the people that we are with the most, don't live anywhere near us. And now this all comes down, and we don't see any of them. We don't talk to any. Well, we talk a lot, but you know, going to Sturgis was, like Randy said, was
Yep.
the camaraderie, being able to see the people you enjoy being around was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Well, listen, if this is your first time tuning in, this is Shop Talk. We go live with Shop Talk every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. Sometimes 50 floors below street level. Recently, street level in the Mobile Command Center, which...
Dude, I haven't walked up and down steps and
I know. Do I say it one more time? Randy is riding shotgun.
There you go.
We're getting the timing of that down. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You can help us pass this along, man, by hitting the like and share button. Do that thing so people know when we go live with this. You know, the fact that we have the comment box up there the whole time should tell you we're not just looking for you to listen to us drone on about this shit. We want you to get involved. We'll try to hit as many of your comments as we can throughout the night. A lot of great stuff, you know, people agreeing with the fact that, like Jason Holman said, Randy's so right, happy to see my friends and just be normal again. Southern Riders stuff is going on, has wasted no time destroying reality. That's heavy right there.
Yeah.
Rob Nussbaum in the house. What's up, Rob? Yeah, but throw your comments up there. We'll try to get to them. What is Shop Talk? If this is your first time, Shop Talk is 90 to 120 minutes, all the bullshit we can fit. We usually have a guest on. You know, we have some fun, talk some shit, and we start the whole thing off with a little program we like to call the news. First up in the news tonight, and this is coming in from the Business Times. Judge finally okays Harley-Davidson settlement with EPA from 2017. Well, Jesus Christ. Don't get in a hurry, Nancy.
The gist
don't
of
rush
it,
into anything.
No, hang on. A federal judge has signed off on Milwaukee-based Harley-Davidson settlement with EPA over the sale of engine tuners that could allow motorcycles to emit higher levels of air pollutants.
Oh, boy.
Harley originally reached the settlement in 2016, agreeing to pay a $12 million civil penalty and to spend $3 million to mitigate air pollution with a project that would replace conventional wood stoves with cleaner. Seriously? Conventional
Well,
wood stoves? What in the Jesus Christ on a rubber crutch does that have to do with a Harley-Davidson motor and emissions?
You never know.
However, the U.S. Department of Justice sought to drop the $3 million project from the settlement in 2017 after Attorney General Jeff Sessions implemented a policy barring DOJ from settlements that include paying money to community organizations or third-party groups.
So if you pay somebody, you can get...
So that $3 million was actually going to go to the American Cancer Society of the Northeast. But because they said you couldn't pay a third party, Harley-Davidson doesn't have to pay out that $3 million now. So now it's just that straight $12 million
But what in the
essential
hell does
fine.
it have to do with wood stoves?
I don't know.
Well, because wood stoves aren't clean and they're bad for the environment. So
So
Yeah.
what,
So now Harley Davidson gets to keep that $3 million.
100 million acres just burned in California, and they're concerned about a wood
Well,
stove.
that was a gender reveal. Let's
that's right.
make sure we have
I
our
forgot.
priorities in order there,
Okay,
mister.
I forgot. I haven't. Hey, I'm pitching into this. I haven't started my diesel truck in a month. So,
Well, there you
Drew
go.
Woodford, did anyone else notice the pollution levels didn't drop in places
Yeah.
like New York City while the roads were empty during the
make sense.
quarantine? Isn't that funny, huh?
yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, moving on. Next up in the news,
So, all right.
Indian motorcycles. And this in from Indian motorcycles.
Indian motorcycles?
Yes, Indian.
Just in.
Indian Motorcycles 2021
So-
lineup delivers. What? I'm doing the news. Damn it.
Heather just got yelled at. And silence.
Okay.
Randy, you're up.
Indian Motorcycles 2021 lineup delivers next level technology and robust suite of new accessories. Adds Indian Vintage Dark Horse Roadmaster Limited.
Wow.
Indian Motorcycle, America's first
So-
motorcycle company, today announced its 2021 model year lineup. The new lineup, which includes new model iterations, next level technology upgrades, and a robust offering of genuine Indian motorcycle accessories, is made available following the brand's strongest sales quarter.
So basically, they have like heated and cooled seats, Apple CarPlay, LED lights, yada, yada, yada. What I want to know is when is Indian going to come out with a middle of the road? Like they have the Scout, which is cool and appeals to, a little bit younger demographic. And then they have, the old guy bike. There's nothing in between. What are they waiting for?
Okay, wait a minute. I have a
Just
question.
curious.
I have to break away from this real quick. Kirk McCann is asking, what exactly does Dennis Kirk do? I stumbled across them a few times looking for Yamaha ATC parts. Dennis Kirk is a parts supplier. Here's a little video that we have to get you hip to
The
them.
absolute favorite thing for me about riding is the freedom and the power. It would cost me so much money to get a car that is half as fast. I've been riding ever since I was 3.5. So my dad got me riding when I was very young. I started on dirt bikes, and then later I got into street bikes. As soon as I turned 16, I got my first FJ 600. I loved it. It was great. Now I have a 2007 Triumph Speed Triple. It's kind of a Street Fighter look. There's not really any fairings on it, and that's what I like about it. When I'm riding, just to hear that pipe and that wind in my face, it's like nothing else. My name is Charlie, and I'm a Dennis Kirk rider.
Okay, so you can check them out at denniskirk.com, but I've personally been to their warehouses, and I'm sure whatever parts they are that you're looking for, they have a ridiculous facility full of parts. So real quick, Heather, Jason Holman and Chris No are both chiming in about your comments about Indian. Jason Holman says that Challenger from Indian is awesome, but Challenger is a great big motorcycle. Chris No,
Right.
Indian has the new 1200, which, again, it's not really like, what I think one of these companies need to come up with is a bike like Royal Enfield's GT 650. You know what I mean? Like entry level,
more beginner.
not tiny little cheap shitty bike that is affordable, and you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's what you were getting at, Heather, or what, but those guys both put up those versions of what they think is your solution.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like on one hand, and again, I'm not saying that I am super knowledgeable, but I think Harley Davidson almost has too many options right now, and I think Indian doesn't quite have enough. I think there needs to be a middle ground,
Well,
in my opinion.
okay. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Randy, what do you got?
He's trying to find a way out. He's in an escape room right now.
I've never
Just
bought
do crickets.
I've never
Crickets
bought
work.
a new motorcycle in my life. A, I can't afford it, and B, I can't leave anything well enough alone, and I don't know enough about fuel injection. So I'm going to stay with my 70s and earlier motorcycles, and I'm just going to stay in my lane. All right,
dude. And listen, tonight he pulled up in the driveway with the Slaying Manus in the back of the truck. One of my favorite motorcycles of all time.
Oh, thank you.
Such a badass.
I even stood there and looked at it in the dark. I like that thing so much. I don't even need a light because I've seen it so many times. I know exactly what it looks like. I can just look at it.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So listen, I gotta say this because who is it? Walter Curo put up Indian is hot right now. But are they?
Yeah.
I mean, like, listen, all due respect for a killer marketing plan and a company that, without question, if anyone was going to do it with Indian, Polaris is definitely the company because Polaris is a giant ass-kicking machine when it comes to mechanical mechanization, right? I mean, they're totally badass when it comes to snowmobiles, ATVs, everything else. But you don't, when you're out as much as we are, you really don't see the kind of saturation out at the events, out on the street that you would expect to see for all the hype that surrounds Indian. I mean, they're out there, but it's not like Harley Indian, Harley Indian, Harley Indian, 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 Harley Indian, Harley Indian. You don't really see it like that to support the idea. And there's kind of a veil of secrecy that covers up what Indian's actual sales numbers are. So are they that hot?
And do you think maybe that's because they've had issues and they've gone under a few times, back and forth and back? I mean, I don't understand why. I mean, my appeal, Indian never really appealed much to me. I mean, I've been more of a Harley guy, but I mean, I've ridden them. They're awesome. I'm not, I just like the feel of what I have already. But to me, questionably, they're in and out too much. Too much change, and we talked about it recently about Harley making so much change, and it was affecting them also. So hopefully the Polaris coming in here, they throw something really good down, and like Heather said, come up with that middle ground bike, come up with that or a beginner style bike. You know what I mean? Like that, maybe it's killing for Royal Enfield.
So hey, listen, I gotta throw a little nut shot here real quick. So Jason Holman's comment is monoshock, inverted forks, radial mount caliper, so much value for the money. Dude, we hardtail motorcycles and put Springer front ends on them.
Yep.
But we're old.
Not everybody though. That's what you do.
But we're old.
You gotta remember
we're
that.
old. That's right.
Yeah.
We are.
And you have to remember when you went out and you test rode that Scout 60 when it first came out.
Yeah.
You were truly impressed with that
and listen,
motorcycle.
I love it. I love it, and I think a lot of the stuff that they're doing is pretty badass.
But if I do remember correctly, one of the first things we said is we'd like to get one and chop it up in pieces and do something really cool with it,
Right.
So which would be great.
And I have seen some really neat chopped up Indians.
Yeah. Yes, me too.
So,
everybody, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Randy.
I was gonna say, a few people I know that do have the new version of the Indian are madly in love with them. I don't know if it's just a matter of time will tell, and you just got to keep beating the masses, because for 85 years it was just Harley, and it's just going to take some time.
Well, and like Mark said too, the black eye that Indian got for up and down and up and down. They're back in business. They're out of business. They're selling T-shirts. Oh my God, now they have motorcycles. Oh my God, now they have their own motor. Now they're out of business again. It's been a rough road for them. And the unfortunate thing is the timing. Like when Indian starts putting balls out on doing all this stuff is right when everything takes a shit. You know what I mean? So there's no telling. In a perfect situation, if they would have been, while everything was still rocking in motorcycles, what they would have done. And like I said, if there's any company to do it, it would absolutely be Polaris.
Right. I agree.
Did you guys see a big Indian corporate presence in Sturgis this year?
We did, which is something really funny, because you know what you saw from Harley Davidson?
Nothing.
A couple
Billboards.
trailers
Where's those
that were parked that said gone
We're
riding.
out riding,
You know, so
yeah.
Right.
I think Harley really missed the boat there when Indian was like, you know what, we're going to show up, we're going to support. So I give him mad kudos for that. Like, Indian was on hand.
Yeah,
Right.
they came and did it.
So, and part of what I was getting at too is like the Scout Bobber starts at $9,000 and it goes anywhere from 9 to 12. And then you have the FTR, which is really for me a demographic specific motorcycle. But then the next price jump is $20,000.
Yeah.
So you have your starter package between 9 and 12, and then you jump to 20 immediately. There's nothing mid-range.
And I'm
And I
not real-
think that's where I imagine where they lose people.
And I'm not real knowledgeable on any. Do they have a lot of accessory stuff? I mean, is there? I don't know.
You know, there's some of the builders have got together and like put custom accessory packages together for them. But like, you know, I think the thing that we're saying is from both American motorcycle companies, they're missing the mark for a true opportunity for youth outreach.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because to believe that youth outreach is going to be achieved at a $9,000 to $12,000 price range is just it's
It's not there.
a falsehood.
Royal Enfield at 63 off the showroom floor with a
Right.
3-year warranty.
Right.
Hello.
Yep.
And is killing it. So
Yeah, buddy. Well, anyway, let's we're going to take a break from the news here for a minute because I believe our only guest for tonight is queued up and ready. So with that, we're going to go to some happy news because we've been reporting about events, you know, postponing and closing down completely for the year. And the other day we got the news that Arizona Bike Week is moving forward. Along with that, we got a list of, you know, rules and regulations that are going to go on, but we decided to go right to the source and see what's going on and what all we can expect from Arizona Bike Week this year. Please help me to welcome to the show, Lisa Sear. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this last minute with us. I know it was we kind of called you up commando like, hey, we're gonna put you on the show tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if I don't look quite as professional as the rest of y'all do. I couldn't get my computer audio going, so I'm doing this from my phone. I'm doing my best though.
Oh, it's great.
keep
It's
in mind,
great.
That's all that
Randy's
matters.
locked up in the front seat of the van, so you're doing great.
Yeah, I don't think she would have been as agreeable if we were like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna stop by and put you in the van to do a show. She'd have been like, yeah, no.
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty adaptable.
So Arizona Bike Week is full steam ahead.
Yep, it sure is. It sure is. It's been a long road.
It really has, and it's refreshing to hear that in spite of the obstacles, you guys are going to do this. And that's what we wanted to have you on for, to tell us a little bit about that. Tell us the perspective that says, in spite of the fact that you're going to have to make accommodations and adjustments to your program, why are you still going to move forward with this event?
You know, right from the beginning, when the world started to turn upside down in, you know, late February, early March, you know, we met, I think, really one time, and we said, you know, we're watching these events all cancel, and whether they were canceling voluntarily or whether they were, you know, being told they had to shut down, we're like, until somebody tells us we can't move forward with our event, we're going to fulfill our commitments. Because when you make commitments to tens of thousands of people, you don't take that lightly, and you don't just back out of it. And, you know, we're so used to being people of our word that it didn't even really occur to us that we would voluntarily cancel our event. So, you know, as you know, when you're getting closer to an event, you're losing money every day. If that event's going to get canceled, you've got advertising running, you've got deposits that are becoming non-refundable, but we just weren't going to pull the plug. And so when the plug was pulled on us, we went right to work to reschedule it. Now, it was just never a question. In 2 weeks, we got it all moved. We got our bands moved. We got our dates, and we moved it to October 7th through 11th. Instead of the 6 weeks that they said we would need to postpone it because this whole thing was going to be over in 6 weeks, we decided to play it safe and move it out 6 months. Then cut to a very long summer that we've all probably had the most brutal summer of our lives for various reasons. Everybody's been deeply affected by this. And, we answering phone calls every day of people begging us not to cancel. And we're like, we're not canceling it. People calling us saying, is it still on? And we're like, yeah, it's still on. We haven't been told any different. And they're like, okay, I'll call you back tomorrow. So
Jesus.
it was just kind of, a wait and see kind of thing. We finally got a process from the city of Scottsdale. Fortunately, there are a lot of events that go on in Scottsdale. So they have a huge department to organize this type of thing. Obviously nobody's had to do this before, but they have a huge special events department. So they put together this permit process, special gathering permit, and we went through it. It was, ended up being about 12 pages of things that we had to guarantee, agree to, promise, and abide by. But we have been telling people for 6 months that we would not cancel this event, and we wouldn't. So we finally figured out how we could make it work. It's not pretty for us, definitely, because, it means a ton of additional expenses and a limited attendance, a lot of things that reduce revenue, and a lot of increased expenses. But we never told anybody we're not going to cancel unless we're going to lose money. We told people we weren't going to cancel it. So we're moving forward.
Right
We've got
on.
a lot of people in the event industry here locally who haven't worked for 6 months. They are desperate to get back to work. We're committed to them. We're committed to the traveling vendors whose events have been canceled for the last 6 months, who've had no income. And we're committed to all of our attendees who really need to get out and do something.
Well, Lisa, we're just back from Sturgis, and we did a thing called Sturgis Live 80 Years in a Day. And one of the things that we laid down in that is people outside of the motorcycle life, they don't understand that this is not just us getting together to have a party. This is not just us getting together to go to a concert. This is way more for us. Like we were talking about earlier in the show, the family reunion part of this, and the fact that, we save up our vacations and our money and everything to go to these things that we make an annual part of our lives. And that's what's at stake here. So I can totally feel for you for all the extra work, and every day when you're answering that phone again and again and again, it's the commitment to that, that that these people are relying on that, and it's not just about relying on a party.
That's absolutely true. They're trying to sell us on this new concept of spectatorless events and concerts, sporting events, that type of thing. Well, empty stadiums don't employ a lot of people.
Right.
And that leaves a lot of people who really need to work still out of work. And it's great for the athletes or the entertainers or the owners and that kind of thing. But it really sells a lot of people short. So our concern is that people can get used to anything if it happens long enough. And so, we could have easily waited till April. It would have been better for us. It would have been a much better business decision, according to our accountant. But so, we could have just rolled everybody's tickets and campsites over to next April, and it definitely would have been a lot easier and a lot less stressful on us to do that. But what's it going to look like next April? At what point does somebody think that somebody's going to wave a magic wand over the country and say everything's back to normal? You've got to work back to it. This happened. Whatever your opinions are about how this happened, I don't even want to get into all that. I don't think any of us do. But we need to start getting back, and we need to work on that. And the longer it stays like this, the harder it's going to be to get back to having normal events.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So I mean, Randy, you gotta sympathize with this too, because you organize your own event. Randy's in charge of the Cycle Showcase St. Louis, and I mean, you over the years you've had to juggle, 100 different things to make that event go on. But imagine in the middle of this, an event of that size has got to be crazy.
Sure. My day job is the concert industry. I've been in the live entertainment business for 32 years, and just to see what we think is going to be the long-term effect of this much isolation and away from this, is kind of scary. And I can't thank you enough for going forward with this, with the Arizona Bike Week, and putting it out there and pushing forward, because we have to start pushing forward, like you said.
Precedents.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really what it's going to take too. I mean, that's the thing. What we found in Sturgis was about halfway through the week, there was a common theme that was going on, that people really appreciated the businesses that put down a flag and said that they were going to do this, and it meant something to them. They were there as their own form of peaceful protest, against more of our rights and our way of life getting taken away. And I mean, and it's gotta be, like you said, whatever you have to do to make it go on. I know it's going to be difficult, but can you give us a rundown of what the rules are, just so we can put that out here on the show too?
Yes, and people aren't going to be particularly happy about them. We all love our freedom. That's why we're in the business we're in. You do have to wear a mask when you're walking around the event, even though it's outdoors, which is a tough one. I know nobody likes it. Nobody has to call me and tell me how much they hate masks, because I already know. So you can save the additional 1,000 phone calls. The city had to give us the same mandates they were giving to everybody else, and maybe even a little bit tighter, just because they know they're going to take a lot of backlash from the community, obviously. When a motorcycle event rolls into any town, the citizens get nervous. So, and that's even under the best of circumstances. Yeah. Right now, everybody's on hyper alert. So you do have to wear masks. We've created a social distance concert arena. And as far as we know, we think it might be the first attempt anybody's made at it here locally. We saw it in the UK. So we've got little sections. We've sectioned off areas in each one, because CDC guidelines say gatherings have to be less than 10 people. So there's 9 people in each section with a little high top table. As I said, you do have to wear a mask here in the state of Arizona right now. You have to wear a mask, like in bars and restaurants and that type of thing, when you're up and walking around. When you sit down at a table, you can take off your mask. And we're under those same types of guidelines. So we put, tables in each of the little pods. They're kind of like little pods that everybody will be in. They'll be 6 feet apart, each of the little pods. And it'll actually be kind of cool. I mean, the pictures of it are actually, it looks like it'll be fun. I think people will like it. Give you a little bit more room.
It almost looks like you're creating like individual VIP areas. Is kind of how it looks. So yeah, I guess if they go in with the right attitude, it could be a lot of fun. You have your own little private party.
Yeah, I mean, some people, I guess, like to be squished shoulder to shoulder out in the crowd, and you won't get that this year. But yeah, it is definitely, every little space is like a private little box that you get to watch the concert from. And then we also have, in the back of the arena, we've got a bunch of picnic tables for people who want to sit down and aren't the type who want to be up, near the stage and standing up. Sit down, and we'll have some extra screens back there. People can watch it on the IMAX screens. So, all of these things obviously have reduced the number of people we can have. So we do have limited ticket sales. That was a really hard one for us for a number of reasons, but mostly just because, our mission at Arizona Bike Week has always been to make an affordable event that everybody can attend. Anybody can come. We don't have restrictions about who comes in. what they're wearing. And, our 5-day pass was like $73, and that included all of the concerts. So,
Wow.
That's cheap.
it's always been important to us. Certainly we're not getting rich, but it's always been important to us that this is something that was attainable for anybody who wanted to come.
Yeah.
I know personally, trying to afford to go to 4 concerts in a week is kind of unreachable.
Right.
So, and I think it is for a lot of our attendees. So we have, we've always tried to focus on keeping our prices low. The only way you can do that is by having mass amounts of people come. We're putting up $1 million worth of entertainment on the stage most years. So, this year, because we had to limit the number of people to it'll be about a third of our usual attendance probably. And, that means that it's like when you go to a cake party and everybody pitches in on the cake. The more people who pitch in, the less you have to pay. So if there's fewer people pitching in, obviously we had to raise our prices a little bit. We are all sold out on the number of 5-day passes that we had to sell. We do have single-day tickets available still. We did have to increase those a little bit. There's still like $42 for Wednesday through Friday, and $45 Wednesday through Friday, I think, and $52 for a Saturday ticket. So they're still certainly not unreachable.
That's a bargain.
But we did try to dedicate as many of our tickets to single-day tickets as possible to let more people at least come for one day, since we can't let everybody come for 5 days like we normally do.
So first, tell me the Texas Hippie Coalition is still going to be there.
They are.
That's so
The
badass.
Texas hippies are still going to be there, and I am so excited.
They're so awesome. They're so, and I mean, Jesse James Dupree and the guys from Jackal, we got to interview Jesse while we were in Sturgis for our little Sturgis documentary, and man, what a refreshing thing to see. However you might think of him over all the years of seeing his wild ass with Jackal and on the TV show and all that.
I've gained mad respect for him from that interview.
Right?
I truly have.
Right? What an incredible human being and
just
smart
his history,
dude. Just a great cat.
Yep.
So sounds like a lot of good stuff this year for Arizona.
So, Chris, does that mean you might change your mind and you might go to Arizona?
Listen, I want to be there. I told you I want to. It's my goal to find a way that we can get a Cycle Source custom bike show to happen during Arizona Bike Week.
Awesome.
So that's in the works.
2021. We'll make it happen for 2021.
We've got six months to get it done. As soon as this event is over. Right now, we are trying to restructure this whole event, shift everything around for the third time this year, and we've only had we're given like 3 weeks to do it. From the time we got our permit finally approved, we had 3 weeks before gates open, so we've been under the wire. So I'm a little exhausted. It's been so heartwarming though, the way everybody has stepped up to the plate with us. All of our suppliers that we've talked to, from sound and lighting people to temporary power people who bring restrooms and do tents, they're all taking cuts this year because they know that there's not going to be the revenue that there normally is, and we're just trying to make ends meet, and this is all about getting people to work. It's just about getting people paychecks. It's not about anybody making any profits off of this one. So that's kind of, it's been kind of nice to see people all come together, No,
and I'll tell you what, that was the thing that we wondered about going into Sturgis. We wondered how people were going to react to it. When they got there and they didn't see, the big production at a lot of the places and the biggest acts in the country, and they were okay with it. Everybody understood like there were going to have to be some changes, and everybody was going to do what they had to pull together. It really meant something to them though, that it still went off.
Well, it does take a certain level of dedication. Anybody who gets involved with a large event right now is going to be subject to potential backlash. So it depends a lot on whether you're willing to take the heat that comes from all directions. It's not, you're not going to win any popularity contests in your community right now from putting on a large event.
Have you
And
I'm sorry, have you received any backlash from anybody in the cycle community, or have you got much from social media about people that won't come because they have to wear a mask?
we've got a little bit, a lot of the backlash that we get is based on misinformation. Somebody
Sure.
hears something. Somebody heard that they said, oh, you're just keeping our money. Well, actually, our tickets are all non-refundable, as are every concert ticket you ever buy, but we waived that policy. We made it as easy as a click of a button. We sent an email to every ticket holder and every
Wow.
camper and said, if you don't want to
Wow.
come, we'll give you a refund. We have done everything possible
Sure.
to, give everybody what we felt was right and what was fair. And, we're just trying to do the right thing
That's
every way we can.
That's such a hard line to walk in the entertainment industry, and to give everybody that peace of mind. And kudos to you.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
so much.
Absolutely. That's
Thank you.
incredible.
I don't think
Don't
people.
say too many nice things to me because I'm exhausted and I'll get emotional.
I don't think people realize what the depth of what it takes to structure something like this.
Yeah.
And then the whole time you're structuring it, you're walking on a tightrope, whether and if somebody's going to cut the thing out from underneath you the whole time. Monetarily, right now, it's monetary suicide. I mean, you're asking for nothing good to come of it. So to be able to offer stuff back to these people, and you're always going to get backlash, and in all reality, you can't let that hold you down. I mean, in all reality, the people that are going to come are the people that are going to support you, and good for you for going and fighting through this for all you guys. I mean, for everybody that's involved, it's amazing, what it takes, and that you're getting it done in such short notice. So that's pretty
Yes,
cool.
sir.
Thank you so much. I always say doing public events takes nerves of steel under
yeah.
the best of conditions.
Yep.
In a year like this, this is when we really separate the men from the boys.
And you rarely hear the good stuff. Normally, you just hear the bickering and the complaining. And you're in a group right now of people that have been doing it for so long. We understand it, and a lot of people that watch the show and that are around us understand it too. And we know it's not easy. So the support's definitely, I'm sure it's a welcomed support. So.
So
It really is.
we have a question in from social media.
Yes.
Let me see who it is. Walter Coro said, "Did it interfere with Daytona Biketoberfest?" And no, actually. So the dates for Arizona Bike
They're a
Week
week.
up on the screen right now, 7th through the 11th. Also up on the screen now, Biketoberfest 15th through the 18th. So you can actually make it to both, Walter. Good news,
That's right.
right?
I
That
do
is
hope,
good.
based on hearing why you guys decided to press forward with this, and the fact that you, out of the kindness of your hearts, knowing the struggles people are going through, did offer refunds.
Yeah.
I hope people can manage to wear a mask for a day and support Arizona Bike Week.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Because it's so much more than just Arizona Bike Week for the reasons you guys are doing this. And I hope everybody out there can buy that one-day ticket. It's a great lineup that you have. It's worth $50 all day long to go and support your efforts, without a doubt.
Well, thank you very much. Yes, we do have a great lineup. I'll run through it really quick if you don't mind. Jackal on Wednesday, the 7th. Thursday, we've got the Texas Hippie Coalition. Friday, we've got Blackberry Smoke. And Saturday, we've got Night Ranger.
Blackberry Smoke is
Oh,
awesome.
dude, right? How
They're
about
Right?
awesome.
That's a
Yeah,
great
they're-
lineup.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. It's been a lot of shuffling, a lot of juggling, a lot of, okay, we think we've got something set and then something has to change. And, like I said, replanning this event for the third time is gotten a little exhausting, but, we'll get it done. We'll be ready for y'all when y'all get out there. And, we're super excited, and it's kind of taken on a whole new mission for us this year. It just seems more important than this year than ever what we're doing. And, we know the biker community gets it. So,
Hey, and like I said, for me, knowing the Texas Hippie Coalition is going to be there,
yeah.
like those are my boys, man.
they
Those are
kill
my
it.
boys. I
People
love
keep trying
them.
to steal my hat out of my truck.
Love them.
In Blackberry Smoke, I mean, that's a
Oh, yeah.
Dayton band. You know, we've been
Charlie and the
been
guys, right?
listening to them forever. I love those guys.
So good.
Well, and a shout out to those bands who are willing to
Yep.
travel and are willing to do events right now, because, you know, not every band is willing to do that right
Right.
now. So those guys who are coming out and are still doing shows, they know we're going to take care of them. We're going to look out for them. We're going to take all the safety precautions. And, you know, we're just really grateful that they're all willing to do it. They're all going to come out and put on a great show for you, you know. And the weather's going to be amazing. October in Arizona is beautiful. So it's going to be a good
Are
time.
these, Lisa, I want to take 1 second because, you know, an event like this takes sponsors to begin with, but then to go through what you're going through and go out on a limb like this, it takes special sponsors. Are these all of your sponsors? Am I missing anybody? I see Law Tigers should also
You know,
be there.
our actual sponsor scroll runs across the bottom of our homepage.
okay.
I appreciate you giving a shout out. Those are a lot of our partners
There you
that,
go.
you know, we've worked with for a lot of years. And that was our league's page. But yeah, we do have a scroll of all our sponsors, you know, Law Tigers and Harley Davidson of Scottsdale, and, you know, of course, the, you know, Jack Daniels people and the Miller Coors people. We've got a lot of people who participated with us for years, and they've all kind of worked with us, understood,
Look, I'm such
okay,
a
we got to
dumbass.
change this. Now we got to change that. So
Geico, I see
everybody's
Geico
rolling
there.
with the punches.
Twisted Tea, yeah. All of these people, like the reason we wanted to go out on a limb there is like we said about Sturgis. You know, there were suspiciously absence in Sturgis that it was kind of a drag to see. You know, we just want to make sure that we give credit to the people that have your back through this. So, Dirty Dog, right on.
Yeah.
Dirty
Oh
Dog.
yeah.
So good for all those people for supporting you, and again, thank you for coming on last minute and helping us get this message out, so that people on your side of the country can come and have a little bit of normal.
Oh, well, you know what? They can come from any side of the country. We welcome everybody. But thank you for giving me the voice. I know a lot of times we're kind of invisible behind the scenes, the people who work on these events, and I'm getting to see it's real people. It's not a big corporate engine like some people think. It's just, we are a team of 5 people who put together this
Wow.
entire event. We work on it year round. And, you know, we're just everyday average people who work really, really hard.
Right on.
Cheers to you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, listen. Thank you again for coming in, and we look forward to getting a full report. One of our roving reporters is definitely going to be on hand, and you might see Heather and I. We don't know for sure, but we could possibly end up there.
I insist that you be there.
Right on. Well, thanks again, Lisa. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having me. Thank you.
So good. So good to hear that stuff is going on and people are making a stand and sticking together on stuff, you know?
Oh, I love it. And I love, you know, and I have to say, I was the first one to judge when I saw what their new restrictions were.
Yeah,
I was like,
right?
no, I'm
Bullshit.
not going.
Bullshit.
Forget it. Yeah, exactly. And then when I got to talk to her
Yeah.
and really hear the whole story,
And
I was like, yes,
that
yes,
was
yes,
the
yes.
thing,
I
you know,
hope
when-
people support this. I hope people can wear that mask for a day.
Yeah, you hope they
And-
put aside the fact of, or don't put aside the fact that these people work hard to make this happen. And
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
juggle, like you said, they're giving refunds on stuff that normally you wouldn't get a refund on.
Well,
They're doing everything they possibly can to make it compliable for anybody to give it a shot to get there.
Yep.
And what she mentioned there, you know, in the best case scenario, the town is uptight, dealing with the local government and you know the liquor control enforcement and everything you have to do one of these events, to do a motorcycle event. It's no walk in the park to begin with.
Right.
And then to
No,
have
not on a good year.
then to have everybody's optics,
Yep.
you know,
Yeah.
focused on motorcycle people and like where the Jun Horde coming into town is a whole other thing. So
Yeah.
Could we take a vote via social media on the show tonight?
yeah.
I was so inspired in Sturgis, and I saw so many great bikes. and everyone was asking, when's the next cycle showcase? When are we going to do this? And right now, my stigma is with the city of St. Louis, and they're mandating that everyone wear a mask indoors. Can we put this vote up on social media? Would you go to an indoor show this winter and wear a mask indoors for the duration of the show? Or would that turn you off too much to not go? That's the thing that I'm wrestling with doing the next cycle showcase this winter, or whenever it comes up, whenever I can get the city to do it. I have plenty of venues to do it in because there's no shows.
Yeah, right.
But it's wrestling with the city right now and getting jumping through their hoops, whatever hoops they decide to make up this month.
So here's my thing, Randy.
Yeah.
Number one, knowing you and knowing what a phenomenal show you put together, it would be no question. It's a no-brainer to me. Yes, I would wear a mask. And I'll tell you right now, I despise wearing a mask. I have asthma.
Take the mask
and I do have
to eat ice cream.
Smart ass.
Just asking. He has an ice cream stand there, dude. You got to eat ice cream.
I do have ice cream there. That's something we'll dive down that rabbit hole when we figure out if we can do it, even at all.
But I agree with you, Heather. I mean, I don't like wearing a mask at all. And again, like Lisa was just saying, to support Randy, to go back to that show, we had War Pony that show last year, and it was effing awesome to have it there, have the people see it.
Yep.
I'd put a mask on and go stand next to that bike or whatever bike would bring, just to talk to people to bring them in.
Yeah, and I think one of the things, and I don't know what their rules and regulations in St. Louis are, but it seems to be one of the biggest things around the country is if you are at a table, you can remove your mask.
Right.
So can you spread high tops throughout your display?
I could.
Or something to that effect, or even around the perimeter to give it that, almost that the bikes as they are the performance, and you have the spectators around, just in case people want to, have that little mask freedom for a few minutes while they have a drink or something like that.
Or an outdoor patio or something you can step out to, something like that, which we try to have, weather permitting, of course.
So if you did a show outside in St. Louis, would you be able to have it without wearing masks?
You just wouldn't be able to do it without having a big ass jacket.
I'm saying, like right now, are they allowing an outside thing?
We're not doing outdoor. They are doing outdoor concerts.
Yeah.
And they are similar to what they're doing in Arizona, where everybody's got a little VIP section, and that's kind of the format that they're doing outdoor shows in St. Louis right now. It kind of depends on where you're at in the city, who's enforcing it, how much you want to push it. Like she said, it's so much in the public that you put it out there, and then the more you put it out there, then the more back push you get.
Yep.
So,
and that's one of the bad things. Like anybody who's watched any of the news, like a lot of places like Laconia tied the rules and regulations with the mask. They tied it to liquor enforcement. So you were in jeopardy of violating a liquor enforcement law whenever somebody got up from having a seat to have a drink and didn't put their mask on. So it's a real dangerous thing for a business owner.
Sure. They started doing that in St. Louis with some of the clubs there. They reduced capacity down to 25%.
Yeah.
And some of the clubs just said, to hell with it, we're just going to keep going. And then they came in and they pulled liquor licenses.
Yeah.
And,
So, Randy, if you do this and you require a mask, Cycle Source will sponsor a couple hundred masks that you can give away at the door, branded however you see fit, whether it be Cycle Showcase or Cycle Source, and you can give them to people as they come in if they're needed.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Now will you let me out of this damn van?
No. You're here. I'm keeping you.
Randy's still riding shotgun.
There you go. Well played.
They didn't tell you they just had 4 yards of manure delivered to spread in the yard tomorrow.
Why is there a backhoe out there?
Oh no, a shovel.
Oh, okay.
Well, listen, let's go back to the news for a minute. We have a couple more pieces, man. I want to remind you guys real quick that we are coming to you live like we do every Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycles Studio. Dennis Kirk, they ship today. If you're last minute, late as hell like me, all the time on your bike builds, they're going to be your ace in the hole. We're going to come
Your name
back.
should be Larry.
We're going to come back in just 2 seconds with the rest of the news, and we're going to wrap this one up. Don't go anywhere. Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. I want to thank you for watching the flagship show of the Source Media Group, ShopTalk. We go live with ShopTalk every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's only one of the many programs we offer from Source Media. In addition to that, Wednesday nights we have a show, Cannonball Chronicles, that looks into the life and times of Cannonball racers as they prepare for this year's Motorcycle Cannonball. Thursday night, we have Bike Night Live that goes into the bike night culture, the food, the fun, the hanging out with people, and we even have some live entertainment. Sunday morning, Cyber Swap Meets kick off, where we have a sort of home shopping network approach to motorcycle swap meets, and we bring guys on that have live parts to sell right there. All of this in addition to our staples, which are Grease and Gears TV, live on the street from the events and rallies, Grease and Gears Garage, Grease and Gears Garage Roadshow. We look forward to bringing more of this type of entertainment to you from the home of Two Wheel Entertainment, the Source Media Group. That was all professional and shit.
Whatever.
Right? Except where I said that people have live parts to sell. As opposed to what?
I want to know who dropped that badass drum beat.
Right? Huh? That's what's up.
All right.
All right, back to the news for a minute. So some sad news to talk about here. Cycle World, which has been like, I think Moses read Cycle World so he could find out the latest accessories for the Arc. Cycle World printing last physical issue on October 2020.
That sucks.
Wow.
With the reach of internet-based content growing and the appeal of printed media material in decline, another motorcycle magazine is making the move to purely digital. Cycle World, a sister title of motorcyclist, dirt rider, motorcycle cruiser, UTV rider, ATV rider, and Cycle Volta.
Don't say that wrong.
Is that an electric motorcycle magazine? I'm not even getting into that. I won't go there. Okay, we'll be printing its final physical issue this October 2020. From November 2020 onwards, it will become a digital-only publication following in the footsteps of Motorcyclist in May 2019. The news comes with the announcement that Cycle World and its affiliate publications have been acquired by Octane, a power sports finance company. Well, there you go. Previously, see, and this is okay. I'm going to get up on my little soapbox here for a minute.
Oh boy.
Well, no, seriously. Like this is the thing, man. How many times you guys hear us say over and over again how important the core is? Like especially in times like this where there's a period of a slump in the industry and a period of reorganization. It takes core people. It takes lifetime enthusiasts, people that are doing this from a place of passion, that are willing to weather difficult times financially to keep shit going, you know, and like whether it's the Harley dealers that are, you know, backed by investment groups or, you know, or any of the big companies that are purely looking at the bottom line of this. This is not a good time for bottom line, you know, and I mean, Here's the result.
No,
Cycle World.
not at all.
Cycle World. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why I was so excited last week to see that Harley Davidson revived the Enthusiast magazine.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that magazine started in 1916.
Yep.
They took a small sabbatical. I think they printed up until 2008 and then transferred over to Hog Magazine. Well, now they've revived the Enthusiast again. And that just makes me so happy because, again, Harley Davidson, one of the oldest brands in the country, if they believe not dead, that just, I mean,
Right.
that kind of just, I mean, I don't believe print is dead at all,
Oh, I don't
obviously.
either.
Think, Cycle Source magazine, but
Oh, and it's
but
there's
people still like the tangible. They want to turn the pages.
Yep.
There's-
And any shop in the country. I mean, there's forever you've walked into shops and there's been magazines laying on the counters and all over the place and the pictures hanging on the walls. I mean, that's like taking a piece of the shop away,
yeah. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, couple last minute pieces of news again. This coming in from. Look, I'm struggling. I'm just gonna admit it to you. I
Where
totally
are you
lost.
going?
I totally
AMA
lost my
or
Where are you
place.
going?
BMW?
I just totally lost the news page.
Hey, you're all nervous because you still have Randy locked up in the front of the van.
Do I
The
still?
van's moving.
Oh, he is still there, huh? Randy, you with us?
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
Oh,
You got BMW. You got BMW up on deck with their new R18.
yeah, I do. Here, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
you
let
don't
you
wanna
run
talk
shit.
about
Tell
that
me, tell me what you want to read next. Go ahead.
Well, you said you were
And
go.
lost. I was just trying to help you find your way.
Oh, he's lost.
Okay, so BMW R18 first edition as shown, 19,870 base model from 17,495. The new R18 invokes the history and iconic hallmarks of BMW brand. The result, a true BMW cruiser that is full of character surrounding the largest displacement boxer engine we have ever built and timeless design features such as white double striping on the R18 first edition. We first saw this bike last year in its prototype version and immediately fell in love with it. I think this picture doesn't even do it justice. It is one of the sickest motorcycles of the year. Can't wait to actually get a chance to throw a leg over this thing.
I love this bike.
Yeah.
Yeah?
From a styling, yeah, everything about it. Yeah, I'm really excited to see this come out.
Yeah, buddy. They had one in Park Sanction. Xavier Zayat, Anthony Mazzato III, Jason DeSalvo, Hayden Gillum, Jake Lewis,